everybody, welcome to Seth's Corner again. I'm going to talk about a very serious subject I think most of America and the world deal with, and that is depression. Well, what actually is depression? Depression is a neurochemical disease, which means it affects the brain. It affects over 350 million people worldwide. Some of the symptoms of depression are low mood, loss of interest in activities, sleeping too much or too little, change in appetite, weight gain or weight loss, irritability, difficulty concentrating, feeling guilty or hopeless, lack of personal hygiene, thoughts of suicide or death. Now that we heard about the symptoms of depression, I want to actually share my personal story about depression. In 2006, my mom actually got very sick to the point of death. I was living with her at the time. I was very scared, very lonely because I didn't know what to do. I could not sleep at night, worrying about her and then worrying about myself also. And then I got into a stage where actually I became very suicidal. And so that's when I went to Shepherd Pratt, which is a mental hospital, to get help. Shepherd Pratt was a very life-changing experience for me. I stayed there for almost a year. It was very, very scary, being by myself, not with my mom or anyone else that I knew. I had to take a lot of medicine to try to see which meds fit correctly for me. I saw a therapist and a psychiatrist. I also had a lot of community during that time, a lot of friends that I made, a lot of resources that I was able to get in touch with, like some of my coping skills, which I use, which is listening to music, talking to someone, writing, art, just to name a few. After a while, it didn't really feel that scary anymore once I got to know people and got to find people that were actually just like me. Today, it's a very different story. I live in an apartment with 2 other roommates. I have a therapist that I talk to. I do art therapy with another therapist, and then also I use the coping skills that I learned about, that I talked about earlier in my daily life. It's a battle, but I'm really getting it under control. I'm not suicidal anymore. And now I'm going to give you some resources that if any of you are facing with depression, you can use. The first resource I have for you guys is NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. The next one I have is ADAA, which is Anxiety and Depression Association of America. The next one I have is the National Institute of Mental Health, which is NIMH. The next one is the National Suicidal Prevention Hotline, which is 1-800-273-TALK, TALK. GRASSROOTS is the third one. Crisis Prevention Hotline, which is 410-531-6677. If you are really having problems with depression, please use these resources. There's no shame in reaching out for help. This is the reason why they're here. I actually have used a lot of these resources myself, and they've really helped me. So I know this was a very powerful and very different subject today, but that's what Seth's Corner is really all about. So please get help if you actually need it. And I'll see you guys next time.